Hello everybody, hope you're having a fantastic day today. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Got a doozy for you today here. I just wanted to go over, some good stuff that I've learned in the 10,000 levels I've played this game. I've included a lot of beginner stuff, and I'm sure there's some tricks that a lot of veterans don't know as well. Let's get into it here. Okay, so let's just start off simple here. If you didn't know, you don't need to look at the players' camps to see what they have in their vendors. You can just bring the menu up on the left here and start clicking all the camps you want, and you can even fast travel from here. I didn't know this for the first at least 1,000 levels I played. When taking a workshop, you do not need to go up to the actual workshop. You can just hold the touchpad on PlayStation. I'm not sure what it is on Xbox, on PC. Let us know if you can, but yes, you do not need to walk up to it. Another good one, a lot of the times you will get a challenge to scrap a certain type of junk. Now, most of the time, you don't even need to go anywhere to do this. You can just go to the Tinker's Workbench and bulk that type of junk and then scrap it again, and you will complete the challenge. Sometimes you can't bulk the certain junk item, but the train stations at the White Springs sometimes will have that type of junk bulked already. If you didn't know, I think at this point we would say that Scrip, the best thing to do with Scrip is to come over to the Rusty Pick here and just get, try to go for effects that we want to learn and then scrap them. I will link a video in the description explaining this more in depth. Just Picklock and Hacker in general, I think are obsolete at this point. Please don't use these perk cards. Master Infiltrator level 1, you can pretty much put this on at the beginning of the game when you start playing. Pretty much don't need those perk cards anymore. Even level 1 is better than both of those cards at level 3. You can actually move your spawn location at your camp. I didn't know this for, I don't even know, I learned this less than a year ago. It is a little bit tricky to mess around with. I will link a video in the description explaining it more in depth, but yes, you definitely can move your camp position or your camp spawn location around. Another one, I love AWOL. If anyone else out there likes doing AWOL, just throwing this out there, you don't have to talk to Sergeant Gutsy to start the event. You can just go up and push the button, and the event will start. Little thing, but definitely cool if you didn't know. The ammo converter. Definitely get yourself one of these. It's in the Atomic Shop. I think it's free, or it could be 500 atoms. I'm not 100% sure. I will link a video in the description going over this in more depth, but it's definitely great for getting ammo. Another great way to get ammo is expeditions. The Sensational Game in particular is the best expedition to do. It's the best way to get legendaries. It's a great way to get stim packs. And I think we all should be doing these at some point. It's a great way also for the legendaries is to get, the mods that you want for legendaries, right? Or just, legendary box mods. The Daily Ops is also amazing for ammo, I wanted to point out. It's probably better than Expeditions for ammo, depending what you like doing more. But if you have a group of 4 people, you can farm so much ammo from the Daily Ops just by not capturing the objective. It has to be uplink, though. Renaming your weapons. Specifically putting a dash at the beginning of your weapons or even your armor will always put it at the top of the list. So this just makes it easier for scrapping stuff that you don't want and not scrapping stuff that you do want. So highly recommend you put a dash at the beginning of your weapons and rename them whatever you want. The White Springs Golf Club. I'm sure most of us are familiar with this place, but I would expect some people may not know that you can actually come over to this fountain here, and it will heal or cure your diseases that you have. So you don't need a disease cure, you don't need antibiotics, you can always just come over to the sulfur water fountain, take a drink, and then your diseases will be cured. The importance of your vending machine. It's definitely the best way you're going to get caps. I would say mods in general at this point are great for getting caps. I will link a video in the description going over a bit of a price guide for the mods, but just keep in mind it's a bit of an old video and the prices are starting to come down a little bit, but they're still great for getting caps. The missile silo state holotape. You can use this to actually check to see which silos you can go to or if someone's been in one recently. So this way you don't waste your time running through and then making yourself have to wait. And if you don't already have this, you can just come over to the White Springs bunker here. I know you can use the other entrance as well, but I just wanted to show from here where to go. And you are looking for the military wing. And once you get there, I think you do have to be a general, an enclave general. I will link a video in the description explaining how to become a general. It's actually part of the main quest, so most of you, I would assume, have this done by now. So you can actually get it at this terminal right here if you do want to get that missile silo state holotape. And since we're over here, just beside it, if you didn't know, you can come over to this computer right here, or terminal, whatever you want to call it. And if you go to schematic archives here and then click prototype power armor schematics, you will get the plans to make the X01 or the prototype X01. My personal terminal. Now this is free in the atomic shop as well, and I'm sure most of you will need a camera at some point, and that's why this is so useful. You can actually use this to find where the dead sightseer is. If you've done this before, I'm sure you'll know what I'm talking about, or if you need to do this, I'm sure this will help you in the future, as you don't need to go to a bunch of places to see if he's there. You can just come into the computer here, research the suspicious person here, and then it'll mark it on your map and show you where he is in that server. There's one in every server, and you usually use them to get a camera if you're wondering why you would need to do this. But yes, this personal terminal will show you exactly where they are, so it will save you a lot of time. Just make sure you mark it in the miscellaneous so you can find it, and then just come over here and the missing person will be there. Can't guarantee the camera will be there, but definitely will be a time saver. I think hordes are underrated. I really do. There's always tons of them in servers. I don't see people doing them very much. And more often than not, like, they'll put you right where the 3-star enemy is. It's easy 3-star enemies, easy junk, and even easy XP. A lot of the times, you know, they could be a pain in the butt, but they're definitely worth checking out. Just throwing that out there. Try to do some more hordes if you can. Weapon weights reduced, or weapon reduction legendary perk effects. I didn't realize how insanely amazing these are. Arms Keeper is what it's called. You will want this on your armor, I'm telling you. It just saves you so much weight. Like, you pick up so much weapons, you have no idea. And look at all the weapons I can have on me, and I'm barely even 236 pounds. Actually, when I start scrapping weapons, the junk starts weighing more than the weapons. It's just hilarious. I highly recommend a full set of weapon reduction armor. And again, that is the 3rd star. And just want to throw this out there, make sure you're going into the Tinker Tom's workbench to see which mods you have learned. Hopefully you have Arms Keeper, unlike me. Electric absorption, oh my god. If you use this with a power armor, you are pretty much invincible to energy damage. I sped this up like 8 times, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and I didn't lose any health, and my fusion core was completely recharged. Absolutely amazing legendary perk card. The Thirst Zapper. I will link a video in the description going to this in a little bit more depth, but it's just a great way to heal NPCs. It's got unlimited ammo, and it barely weighs anything. Just showing here again. It basically just, you know, gives the robots legs back. It's awesome. Trust me, get a Thirst Zapper. Okay, let's go over some places to nuke. Now, I know you need to hit Fissure Site Prime to start the Queen event, but you actually don't. You can get it very close to it, or even not even hit it. And I suggest coming down here a little bit more, not hitting it right in the middle. This is the preferred spot, I would say. And I just want to show, yes, you do not actually have to hit it to get the event to spawn. Now, this is the only one that will do this. You do not want to do this with any other spots. But I'm just going to go over them very quickly. Of course, you nuke Monongah Mine to get the Colossal Problem event going. But I do recommend you nuke Monongah Outlook. That way, you can run out of the nuked area a little bit faster for people that aren't in a power armor fighting Earl. We would really appreciate it. And make sure it's completely covered, unlike the Queen I just said. If you want to get the robot event going, I can't think of off the top of my... Neurological Warfare, oh my god. If you want to get that event going, I just nuke Dark Hollow here, but you can pretty much nuke anywhere in Shenandoah and that event will start, so it doesn't really matter where you put it over there. And if you want to get the Ultrasight Titan event, you just nuke Abandoned Mineshaft 2. Another little trick with this is you can nuke that and Nuka-Cola World. That way when you fight the Titan, you will get enemies in a nuke zone and get tons of stabilizing materials like high rad fluids, what's it called as well too, glowing meat, all that good stuff to stabilize flux. I can't stress how much a backpack is important. Unless you're planning on always using power armor, I'm sure you could still find a use for a backpack. I will link a video in the description showing you how to get a backpack. You can get up to an extra 120 carry weight if you're out of power armor. Remember, this does not work in a power armor. The Tesla rifle. Oh my god, such a great weapon at events. It's just great for tagging enemies. You'll get tons of XP, and great for beginners as well if you're trying to rank up. Turrets. Oh my god, do they take up so much camp budget. If you do not have a lot of camp budget, just throwing this out there, this may be the problem. Like, if you have 10 of them down, I think's the limit. Like, it takes up like a quarter of your camp budget. It's insane. And I don't even think they're that great, to be honest. When you come out Vault 76 here, Forward Station Tango is a great place to go to. I will link a video in the description of a bit of an ammo guide from Finders Keepers, and it'll show you how to get tons of ammo. Like, you can literally come out of the vault with a new character, or maybe your first time, and you can get thousands of ammo from a quick little route. Or even just coming up here, I'm sure you can get more than a couple hundred. Make sure you come over here to this area. It's just a simple walk over here before you head down to the Wayward on your next playthrough, and you will have a lot of extra ammo, especially if you're using the combat rifle. There's just ammo crates all around here. Again, I will link a video in the description explaining this in detail. Rerolling weeklies. I highly recommend you reroll weeklies. Use your free ones to do this, and try not to reroll ones that you know will get done by accident. They're worth 500 extra score points, way better than a daily. I only reroll weeklies. The importance of a Mule character. Again, I will link a video in the description explaining how to use a Mule or how to make a Mule character. It's just awesome for taking that weight out of your stash box that you may need. Like, I put all my Nuka grenades on here. I put a lot of... Well, I used to put more weapons on here that I wasn't using. You can put food over here. You can put ammo over here. Pretty much anything that you can think of you can transfer, unless it's like an atomic shop item or something like that. Summersville. If you did not know about this, I will link a video in the description as well. You can pretty much use the books at this house to reset, like, pretty much everything. Enemies, loot, the ore and Lucky Hole mine, pretty much everything. So the way it works is you need to pick up like 260 some odd items before the spawns will reset. Well, there's like so many burnt books here, you can get this done in one spot very fast, and you can do this as many times as you want. Again, I will link a video in the description explaining this a little more in detail. Claim tokens are extremely heavy. They will start to weigh up quickly. Make sure you check your stash and even on person in the miscellaneous tab for claim tokens. They do build up quick. You get them from doing load bearing. Concentrated fire. I didn't realize how good this perk card was for the longest time. I actually got a Chameleon Deathclaw here. I almost didn't want to kill this guy. But yeah, back to Concentrated Fire. It's just great for, you know, pinpointing the weak points of enemies here. Usually I will just, you know, keep it on the head there because that's usually most things' weak points. But if you're killing like something like a Deathclaw, you can still target their belly and kill them super fast. Awesome perk card. Oh my god, Reddit. If you have been playing this game for over a year, you should probably have a Reddit account. It's just an amazing way to get stuff from other people and trade, and it's probably the safest way to do online trading. Company T. One of the best things in the game. You can get this at Crater. I forget how much bullion it is. I think it's 1250 if I'm not mistaken. Let us know in the comments. But definitely, company tea is awesome, especially if you're a herbivore, and it still does work if you're not a herbivore. And if you didn't know, it replenishes your AP extremely fast. If you're in a power armor and you jump really high, you will crash down. A way to get around this is, if right before you land, you holster or unholster your weapon, you will not crash down anymore. Having a power armor chassis on you, or maybe even a couple. If you're collecting a lot of legendary power armor, which I'm sure a lot of us are, or most of us are, most of these pieces weigh over 10 pounds. The chassis only weighs 10 pounds, and if you put these pieces on the chassis, then they don't weigh anything, basically. You'll only have to take into account of the 10 points from the chassis. The White Springs Maul. Another one for beginners here. If you need any access to any of this stuff, there's like so many good, like pretty much all the faction vendors are at the White Springs Mall. A legendary Scrip machine, a gold bullion machine, pretty much every scrapping station you can think of, a cooking station, pretty much everything you need will be here. So just throwing that out there. Denton Sons Construction. I know this sounds like kind of a weird one, but I'm sure at some point we will be looking for rad stags. They can be a little tricky to find, but not if you come over here, turn around, run up the hill. Shout out to Finders Keepers for this one. There are a bunch of rad stags up here, and it is a guaranteed spawn. You don't have to go around to a lot of spawns like I used to myself, actually, just trying to get them to spawn. These rad stags will always be here, just in case you ever need to find one. Cooking station. I'm sure most of us know how to cook food, but if you're looking to cook specific items, you can actually toggle craftable at the bottom. I think a lot of people aren't aware of this, but if you toggle the craftable, only things that you can cook will come up on the menu. Extremely useful. Encrypt it. If you see this event going on and you didn't pay for the event to start, then please let whoever paid for it start it. I know a lot of people do this by accident. I know trolls do this as well, but the people that do it by accident, I'm talking to you, just try to let the people that that paid for the encrypted event start it. It is like almost 2,000 caps just to start the event, so it's just kind of bad etiquette. You do not need to have an intact enemy or an alive enemy to get a photo challenge. Just throwing that out there. You can take pictures of dead enemies. Popcorn is considered pre-war food, so if you ever need to get that challenge done. These are the two best generators. I will link a video in the description explaining why they are, but basically you don't have to hook up as much power conduits as you usually would. These are awesome generators, and you should know about them, along with the cryo freezer as well, talking about other camp items. This thing is a lifesaver. It beats all the fridges. It has no spoil rate unless you're going to camps that don't have the freezer, I think, or even your vault, I think, but for the most part, your food will pretty much stay intact forever as long as you keep it in there. Have you ever gotten stuck and not being able to move out of the spot? You can't jump, you can't run, you can't get out of the spot. You can use a power armor to get out of that spot, as I'm going to show here. Definitely a good little trick. It's just very annoying when you get stuck on that tiny little spot and it's just like, I want to get out of here. Try using a power armor. It will get you out of there. It will actually move you forward a little bit, as I'm going to show here, and then you should be able to walk freely out of it. Challenges here, and specifically events. Make sure you're doing events. I always have videos up that are reminding people. I just hear a lot of people, wishing that they could get this Mothman, generator, even this fireplace. Just make sure you're doing those events, everybody. Like, they're very easy to do. Just throwing that out there. You may not see those items for a long time. I will keep you informed on those. That's pretty much it, everybody. Let me know if there's anything you think I missed in the comments. I'm sure there's some other tips and tricks. This is going to be an awesome video for comments. Make sure to check them out. And as always, thank you for taking the time to watch the video. Have a pleasant evening.